Hi, friends. Happy Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday. This week has flown by. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was displaying Lego with TexLUG, TexLUG Austin in particular at South by Southwest. So, we had a lot of fun, really great time chatting with people from all over the world. And yeah, it was a great experience. Usually, my live streams, my weekly lives are on Wednesdays. But obviously, with us being away at South by Southwest, it was super busy. So we're diving in today for a fun couple of hours, which is fun. So today, I am excited to build. Where's the box top? Here we go. The new Lego Ideas set. So this is the Tintin Moon Rocket, and it is from Lego Ideas. It is the 75th set that's been approved from Lego Ideas, which I think is so wild. Hi, Victor. Good to see you. And we had a chance to see this one at Lego Fan Media Days. So very excited to dive into it. It was super impressive at Fan Media Days to see it fully built. The shape of the rocket is super cool. I'm very excited to see the details in the Lego math that kind of creates the rounded shape, and also creates the alternating white and red sections. It's actually quite complicated, and something that people don't really think too much about when looking at a rocket like this. So very excited to dive in and show you that. And then here are the stickers. There are 4 stickers total, or I guess there's 5 because one of them is duplicated. I'm loving the night sky one that you see. You rotate it this way, with the blue up here on the upper left. That's going to be very versatile. And then I like the one that shows the Earth as well. So those will be fun to include. But let's dive in and get through as much as we can today. How are y'all? What are you up to? I found that I was on my feet a lot at South by. I was standing behind our table and kind of walking around a little bit too to chat with people. So I was quite tired once it was all over, and I honestly didn't think I would have energy to do a live stream this week. But for some reason today, I just thought, you know what, I miss it, and I want to do it. So I'm glad that I had a little bit of extra time this afternoon. Plus, it's Philip's birthday. So you should go pester him and tell him happy birthday. And I wasn't going to go live since it's his birthday, and I figured he'd be wanting to spend some time together and whatever. But he's actually taking tomorrow off of work for us to play all day Friday, so that'll be fun. Which means he actually has a lot to get done at work today. So since he was still busy, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do my job and dive into these fun builds. So. Um, but yeah, curious on how your week's been. Um, let's see. Okay, so I want to show you before I dive into Meet the Fan Designer. So this is Alexis dos Santos. His Lego Ideas name is TKEL86 from Portugal. This is a picture of him with his beautiful model, which is so fun. And his model also included the yellow section too, to kind of hold the rocket up. And you have a little brief blurb in there of the fan designer, of course, like we always see with Lego Ideas, which I love. So fun to get a sense of who he is. And then it talks a little bit about Tintin and the whole lore and history there, which is a lot of fun. So the red and white checkered rocket from Destination Moon, 1953, and Explorers on the Moon, 1954, remains one of the most recognizable symbols from the adventures of Tintin. In the story, Tintin, Captain Haddock, Snowy, and Professor Calculus embark on a daring journey to explore the dark side of the moon, launching a groundbreaking rocket from the fictional country of Soldavia. When first published, the adventure transported readers into a future where human space travel felt within reach, at a time when an actual lunar landing was still only a dream. So, and then there's a little bit more to the story too, but some pictures that are from that original time frame and storyline as well. So cool. 1953. I love level of love that we're getting this kind of throwback type of a set. And you'll see once we get to building it, but the top portion actually opens. I haven't shared my videos from Fan Media Days yet, but I did have a chance to take that off and show people. But I love how they were able to create it that way, where it's not just like snapped shut. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful design, and will be a great display. So yeah, let's dive in. This is bag 1 of 11 bags. Working, you remember me mentioning the video game mentioning the video game Pokopia. Well, it is awesome. I had to buy the Switch too, but I don't regret it. I'm jealous, and I'm very happy for you that you have that. Everyone I know who's playing it is obsessed and having a blast with it. And so, yes, I'm very happy for you that you've had that opportunity to do that. I would love to get a Switch too. It's not on the books for now, and that's okay. I'll have to keep waiting. But I've been hearing really, really wonderful things. And Victor, I can't remember if you mentioned that you were an Animal Crossing player as well, or previously were, or not. That is my jam, and I'm still obsessed with it and having a lot of fun with it too. I also got obsessed with it way later in the game than most people, since it seems like a lot of people dove into it during COVID. Um, I didn't really get into it until the last year, but I'm loving the updates that they've made for 3.0. And this week have not played at all, which is weird. I normally feel like I'm in it a little bit every day, just to accomplish some of the daily tasks that I want to do, and makes a little bit of progress on the things I'm working on. But this week, because of South by, I was super busy. So, have you ever been to South by Southwest? Are you familiar? Uh, we had a really, really good time. So Ben, who's our ambassador for the lug for TexLUG Austin, was able to get us an amazing setup, where our booth was huge. It was enormous, and we didn't expect to have as much space as we did. So they gave us a generous amount of space. We had 4 builders there, all with our builds. For me, I brought my Lego Masters mini builds, so the mini versions of all the big ones that we built for the show. And I brought my laptop to have the show running the whole time. I also brought some of my mosaic builds from a handful of years ago, of Taylor Swift, of Lizzo, of Shangela, and of Sarah Bareilles. And it was just so much fun. And it reminded me that there's a lot of people that aren't as deep in the Lego fandom as we are, that love every little bit and piece. So yeah, it was a really, really good experience. I dropped the legs of this minifig. Oh my goodness. All right, so fun. These spacesuits are iconic. They're so well created and well designed. I also love the hairpiece here. So let me show you the face first. And this face, I love the alternate option. So I'm going to keep the alternate option forward and show you that first. So here's the alternate option with that face. And then on the back, we've got this. So regular smile there too. And then here is the perfect hairpiece, which I love, and I hope we get in multiple colors, because I think this is a really, really fun one too. So it's in actually like a bright yellow for his hair. Come on, pay attention to my hand. There we go. There we go. Yeah, very, very well done. So, oops, I forgot to put on the thing that allows them to wear like the back piece. So let me put this on first. Just one of those clips that we've seen before. And then I love that we're getting a bunch of these for the characters, but it's the 2 pieces of these bubble pieces. I call them bubble pieces, but yeah, it's the spaceship type pieces, or light lamps pieces, to create the wonderful bubble top for the spacesuit. So really, really cute. And then we're gonna brick build this backing. So hello, how's it going, Stefan? Good to see you. Let's see. Yes, I used to play Animal Crossing. I used to design clothes for a show called Canella's Drag Race. That's awesome. Okay, I love it. So hyped for this set. I know, it's really exciting. It's a beautiful, beautiful build. And I loved that we got a chance to see it at Fan Media Days and got a chance to like take it apart and or not completely, but like take different elements apart and see how it connects. The designers talked a lot about the challenges of building the rounded shape and how they wanted to make sure that it was perfect, which I love. And I think they nailed it. I'm very excited to get to finally build it. So, um, do you have much of a history with, Tintin? I'm curious about that and which, like, fans there are of the, um, story behind the build. Where's the here we go. Admittedly, I do not have a lot of context with Tintin, so sorry if that bothers people. Yeah, it just wasn't something that I grew up with as much, so, I'm excited to learn more about it as we go. Here is the back piece that we build. So brick built sections or brick built pieces that connect here on to his back, like so. And actually, after seeing this at Fan Media Days, I told myself I need to look this up and get a closer look at it. But honestly, Pokemon took over. You have no idea what Tintin is. That is totally fair. It is a comic book slash cartoon from the 50s. Very, very big following globally. Not as much in the US from my understanding, but I could be wrong about that. It could just be that the people I know in the US that typically would follow these things aren't as up to speed on it. So, but maybe I should ask some people in our lug if anybody else has like a big connection to it or not. So, I was very excited about the to build techniques. I think this is a really, really beautiful build, and I'm very excited to get into like the shaping of the actual rocket itself. And also, I found that I really enjoy building rockets and building spaceships through a lot of the builds that I've built over the last handful of years. One of my favorites that is so underrated is the one from Piece by Piece, the Pharrell set. It's so good, and it angles at such a beautiful angle, and is just such a beautiful display. And then it comes with all of those fantastic um, minifig heads, and so just absolutely love it. All right, and then the top gets the little jetpack, which I think is so cute. They're using the binoculars pieces, and I want to say when we had the interview with them or the introduction at Fin Media Days, that they talked about this being the first time that we're getting those binoculars in this brighter blue color. So it's a European comic book about a journalist who solves mysteries with his dog and good friend, a captain. Thank you very much, Stefan. I knew someone else would know more. So you liked the Triceratops? You already saw it in person, right? How big is it? Ha ha ha. No such thing. Actually, the only thing that we saw from Jurassic World that was displayed was the Jeep, and I actually interviewed the designer for the Jeep, and I have to tell you, I am thrilled and cannot wait to see it or to get to build it. That one is coming for review. And I was really hoping it would since I got the chance to interview him. We are huge Jurassic fans in our house. And it is a gorgeous set. And it is so well built and well designed. I actually learned a lot about the designer and his background. He worked in animation, and he actually animated the Lego story that is playing on loop at the airport. So if you go into the Lego store at the Billund Airport, you'll get to see his animation, which is really fun. But he was great, super nice, and one of my favorite things about it is it's made both as a beautiful display set, but it's also made in a way that you can play with it. And so the wheels and the front wheels, they turn, but instead of having to like reach your hand in awkwardly to do the steering wheel, he made the mechanism the extra wheel on the back of the Jeep. So you can hold it and twist it and just move as you're going. And it makes it very swooshable, if you will, very drivable, which is really, really cool. So yeah, very, very excited about that one. It is just gorgeous. So, and I love that you can do 3 different versions of the Jeep. There might have been 4, I think 3 though. So there's hang tags at the front of the Jeep, and then there's a number on the sides of the Jeep. And those are all stickers, and he designed it so that with some quick, simple switches, you can make either 3 or 4 of the individual Jeeps. If it's 4, then 2 of them are identical with just different numbers, and then the other 2 have like some changes to them. But I can't remember if there was an extra sticker for that or not. So the first comic is from 1929? No way. Okay, that's really cool. So this one that references the moon rocket was 1953, but I didn't realize that it was that old. That's really cool. I was thinking Lego could make the Pokemon fossils too. Oh my gosh, that would be really cool. And now that I've been playing so much more Pokemon and am deeper in that fandom, I am much more aware of all that goes into the various Pokemon, and like they could do only Lego Pokemon forever and never run out of ideas because there's so much there. It's wild. It is a very deep um, uh, product IP for them to join with. So I'm very excited to see what's to come with all that. So you're thinking, yeah, yeah. I love the idea of Pokemon Skeleton, although that would be admitting that they die, I guess. So, which they get defeated in battle, but you can always revive them. You don't want them to actually die. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, been having a lot of fun with that new hobby. So, um, all right. So, are these glow in the dark? No, they're not. The way that the instructions show putting on these white studs, they use a lime green line around them, and it makes it look like they're glow in the dark pieces, but they're not. So it was original part of a newspaper and then turned into books later. The moon one is, of course, one of the most iconic. Of course. And I think that one of was prior to the moon landing, so it seemed like that little blurb said at the beginning. It seemed like that was, never to actually happen, like just a pipe dream almost, or something that maybe someday could come. So I'm sure that at the time it would have been really exciting to read about and see. Wow, this really cool story about a moon rocket. Maybe someday we'll land there. I love these historical reference sets because often it teaches me about something in pop culture that I didn't know about before. So, and I had seen him like as soon as we knew, and also I'd seen that the Lego Ideas set had been approved, of course, because I keep up on all of that too. So I was aware a little bit of what was coming with this, but I remember thinking all along, like, I don't know that much about this story. So, um, and there was something else called Rin Tin Tin. That's not the same thing, right? That's a different thing. That's also something that I'm only familiar with the name. But those aren't the same, right? What else do we have? There's also one where Tintin goes to America. Oh, fun! I hope he has a good time and that it's not a bad experience because, sometimes coming here is an interesting place. I say that, but also would love to see all of our friends from around the world come here. So, y'all, at South by Southwest, we had so much fun. So, South by Southwest is okay, yeah, I didn't think it was the same thing. Thank you for confirming, for sure. Anyway, at South by Southwest, so first off, South by Southwest is a huge event in Austin, Texas, that happens every year in March. And it used to go over multiple weeks, and there would be films, there would be music, there would be interactive, which was technology based stuff. Then they created South by Southwest EDU for educators to go to. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and kind of blew up a little too much. And hundreds of thousands of people come into Austin for it every year. So typically, we try to avoid downtown because it's chaos. It's chaotic, and all the chaos of all these strangers from out of town showing up, trying to navigate our streets and everything. It's just like better to stay home. So, and there's all kinds of really cool things that happen there. It's just, yeah, usually we try to avoid downtown. Well, TexLUG got ourselves a booth, and we were at the Emerging Tech Expo. So we were surrounded by all these booths from all these companies who are doing really big, interesting things. Many of them are doing a lot of work with AI. And so our display was all Lego builds, nothing created out of AI, of course. And it was also for us to talk about Brick Rodeo, our convention. And it was so fun because the first 2 days, the expo was only open to badge holders, which means, people who had purchased a badge to be at South by Southwest. And all of the people that were coming by our booth, they would walk up and they would say, "So are you a competitor to Lego?" We would say, "No, no, not at all. We love Lego. This is all Lego." And then they would say, "Oh, did you build a unique technology for Lego?" And we'd say, "No, not at all. We just like to build." And all of my builds, 3 of my 6 mini builds from Lego Masters, all have moving parts and use the Mindstorms Spike Prime hubs. So they were moving. And so people wanted to know if we were like selling kits and things, and we kept saying no, like we're not selling anything. We're just a nonprofit organization called Brick Rodeo. We host an annual convention. And so what was fun was a lot of the people started to tell others, go see the Lego booth. They're not selling anything because they got tired of all the sales pitches from all of the other booths. It's hard to walk through that hall without getting stopped by a million people wanting you to buy their product or learn about their product. So we had all these adults who would come by and were so excited that we were not selling anything, and just had fun. We had some play brick out, so some 2x4 blue bricks on another table, and a lot of the adults would go over and build with that a little bit too. And then on Wednesday, it was open to the public. And so then we had a lot of people from Austin coming by. And that was great because, they're local. And so coming to Brick Rodeo is more accessible for a lot of them. But it was just the most fun. I loved keeping my laptop playing my season of Lego Masters because I got to hear it the whole time I was sharing with people. And people were very excited to meet someone who'd been on the show, which always feels silly to me because I don't feel like, I mean, it obviously was very special, but I also, I don't know, sometimes I don't really think of myself as like a celebrity, if you will. But regardless, it was so fun. We had a really good time. We brought a lot of joy to people, and that was the best. So it was really really a lot of fun. And we lucked out in getting this amazing spot. So our local news, our local NBC station came by and interviewed me about it. And I didn't know, but they shared it to social media, I think yesterday. And so we just found out today and reshared it from Brick Rodeo, and I reshared it from my account too. But it was so fun. It was really a lot of fun. And then a lot of my friends that I haven't seen in a long time since I used to work at the university but don't anymore. I haven't since 2017. A lot of them were at the convention, and so they stopped by to say hello, and it was really cool. So I had a great time, but I also talked my mouth off. I got very very tired and started to lose my voice a little bit. So tonight we're doing karaoke for Philip's birthday. So I hope that I have enough of a voice by then. I think I do. So there's a lot of political commentary from the first stories. There's one where Tintin goes to Congo, and that does not work today. Oh, wow. Yeah. That would be it. I imagine too, when you think of the context of when it was written, it'd be really interesting to see from a historical perspective how some of these political things were talked about um, in this form of media. So that kind of stuff always fascinates me. Um, you know, I see art and storytelling as also um, indicative of the times that it came about in. It gives you a glimpse into what people cared about or what they wanted to escape or why things mattered and why storylines were prominent at the time. I feel like there's always politics involved in some way, and I say that not with any negative bend either. It's just interesting to me from a from an historical standpoint. So I'm so excited. I need to look more into Tintin to better understand all of this. So I'm glad you're here to share more with us. That's really fun. Oh, I forgot to show you the dog. I think I showed you the way that they use the what are these called? Binoculars for his little air tanks. But look at him, he's so cute. And Tintin and his dog both I knew visually. Like I've seen the comics to I've seen images of the comics to where I knew instantly who they were. But I couldn't tell you much about the story and stuff. So it's fun having you here, Stefan. It's always fun having you here, of course. Hi, friend. It's Ben. You're watching me on the big TV today. That's weird. I say that's weird not because it's weird to you. It's weird to me that I'm on a big TV. It's funny whenever Philip is scrolling through YouTube now, since I've been doing this for a couple of years, and since he subscribes because he's a loving husband, it'll pop up as like a recommended thing to watch. And I always think it's funny because it's like, oh, that's so weird. And I've only watched myself on the big screen like um, through for my YouTube stuff, um, a handful of times, and it always just feels odd to me because it's weird to be in our house and watching the inside of our house and watching me that big. So, um, but that's fun. I'm glad that you joined. Um, we are having a good day over here. The what do you call it? The garage door is fixed. We have a brand new garage door, which is wonderful. And the last part of that was done today. So they came by. Actually, the reason I wasn't going to live stream is because they were supposed to come by anytime between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So I thought, I don't want to just schedule something and then have it be interrupted because I needed to be like outside with them helping get access to stuff and whatever. Anyhow, they were able to come by at 11:30. So they came by early, which was great for me and great for them. He said that I was his last stop of the day. So I was like, good, you get a break. Um, but yeah, that's what freed me up to then say, oh, I do have some time to do a live stream. And once I knew Philip had, work meetings and was still working today, because there was a possibility that he was going to take the day off, but he took tomorrow off for his birthday fun. So yeah, I get it. It's just easier today trying to multitask. Totally fair. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. And I was like, you know what? This is great. I have the energy and voice back from talking again to do a live stream. So this will be fun. Plus, I've been really excited to build this set. It's just been sitting in our guest bedroom because I had to keep it hidden so it didn't show up on any streams or anything. In the background until it was revealed. So yeah, yay, fun. Ben, have y'all built this one yet? Hi, Dick. How's it going? That's my father-in-law. We are. I was excited to get a chance to live stream today. I didn't think I was going to be able to, and but our garage door person came early, so I don't know if you heard that part, but very excited that now we're officially done. The last thing they had to do was just install the little thing on the outside of the door that you can type in a code to open it, and that's helpful for like if we have someone house sitting or those types of things. So yeah, very excited to be able to do that now. So, okay, y'all, almost done with bag one. This is exciting. Dick, I'm curious if you have any connection to or experience with Tintin. We've been chatting in the chat here about it, and it's an IP that I knew of. I've seen pictures of. I knew it was this very old comic, but I don't have a lot of experience like reading it or consuming the media for it. So yeah, curious if you have much connection to it. All right, done with bag one. We're building some really interesting details here. I'm loving the way that we're seeing how they can accomplish having 6 sides to this by building out these larger chunks with brick built pieces and then including this area here using these axles that can connect and create something that attaches in those other places too. So um, Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, it isn't coming out until April 1st, and so your store probably has a little bit more time to get around to building it soon. But yeah, I'm curious if and when you do, if it ends up being you that gets to build it. I'd love to hear about your build experience with it and what you thought. Um, I'm excited about these interesting like shapes and things. You've seen it around, but no direct experience. Okay, yeah, that was kind of the same here. So I think it was a little bit more European influence than it was in the US. But I love the characters; they're really, really cute. And these characters too, I was very familiar with. So, also as a reminder, since we just did the overview of bag one, we also have Tintin here and his pup, super cute. The pup is a brand new mold for Lego, and then also the hairpiece is a brand new hairpiece. Ben, is that true? The hairpiece is new? I think it's a brand new hairpiece. I haven't seen this one before, and I think that was something they told us during the Fan Media Day stuff. So yeah. Um, but yeah, we had a really, really good time at South by Southwest. I hope that we have the opportunity to do it again and again. I was able to talk with so many amazing, interesting people from around the world. We actually had a very large group of people from Brazil, from the Philippines, and from Mexico that were visiting for South by. And it made me wonder if our uh, local visitor center did some partnership with their visitor centers or something, just because the volume of people from those um, three countries was quite large um, for the experience. So, but it's a joy. And the other thing that was really fun is, we were there to talk about TexLUG and Brick Rodeo, but through that, we could talk about how there are Lego user groups all around the world and how there are Lego conventions all around the world. So it was really fun. And it also was eye opening to us because as we'd be talking to somebody, if they were from a different country or state, we would look up their state on the LAN, on the Lego Investor Network, to figure out what opportunities they had near them to participate in LUGs. So I felt like we actually represented the whole world in terms of ways that people can connect with Lego. So it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. So yes, I do believe that's true about the hairpiece. I thought so, right? Deaf about the dog. Yeah, definitely a new mold for the dog. So yeah, I thought they said that about the hairpiece. I really love the shape. I'm wondering if they'll do more hair colors in that shape, or if they're going to stick with this as always only for Tintin. Um, it makes me wonder when they do things like this, if they are obligated to maintain exclusivity with the IP or not. So what I mean by that is, are they allowed to use this hairpiece in a different color for another figure, or is this so iconically connected to Tintin that that wouldn't be possible? We did see that with the Queer Eye set where Tam's hair that was the silver, they were able to use in blue and in pink in other sets to do, I think it was Megan Rapinoe's hair for the soccer set or football set. And then in Everyone is Awesome, they edited it in blue. So I like when they're able to design something that feels specific to an IP, but that is able to be used in other ways as well. So and I still am waiting on Lego to create the right purple hairpiece for me. But as you can see now, I have multiple colors in my hair. I decided to try something new. So, yeah, excited to see if Lego will eventually design a hair mold that works for me. So please, Lego, listen. I'm that important that you need to prioritize me. Just kidding. Yeah, his hair's blue even, oh, yeah, it was in BAM. I remember getting excited that I, saw it in the Build a Minifig, section in the store. So, speaking of which, I was been telling Philip we need to go to our store and get him his birthday minifigure, from the Build a Minifigure section. So, he's not as excited as I, was for mine. I think it's mostly that, it's sometimes challenging to get down that way. Although this week, with it being spring break and with it being South by, a lot of people are working from home or just not going downtown at all. The traffic is wonderful. we don't have traffic like this ever, or lack of traffic, I should say. Um, so yeah, it's actually a good time to head down that way. So that's fun. Okay, so I'm curious onto when, on like what step we'll start to put on the side panel pieces in the red and white stripes. Um, so this section has me building something 3 times. So in true Justin form, I am doing that over and over again all at once, as opposed to building one, then the other, and then the other. Oh, yay! So in this set, we're getting 3 of these so far. So this is a new to me piece. It's the only time that we get it where the Technic hole is directly below the stud on a brick is in a 1x1 and a 1x2. Um, and now we're also getting it with 1x3. So that'll be a handy new piece that can help you with adjusting from brick built to Technic brick built options. So I like that new variety for us. And then some red beams, which I think we've already had. Ooh, but we're getting this piece in blue. So this is that like rounded piece that I always feel like is should be squishy, but it's not. And we've seen it in red and black and transparent black. I think I've seen it in white and in light bluish gray. Actually, Ben has seen it on a mock that I was doing in red. And actually, maybe I shared that with all of y'all last week. I think I did with the Pikachu that I was doing, the little one, where I was looking on, do we want this in red for the cheeks or did we want the flat? But now we also have it in blue. So yeah, good stuff. Being downtown at South by Southwest also just reminds me of how cool our city is. I Philip has a parking pass for his work garage downtown, and so because of that, I drove his car so that I could park for free. And then that meant that I needed to walk just under a mile from there to the location that we were at each day, and so which was fine. It wasn't too bad of a walk, but it's also beautiful downtown. Lots of really interesting um, murals and really cool buildings and things. And so I did a little video yesterday of my minifig traveling from the parking garage over to the Fairmont Hotel, which is where we were displaying our stuff. And it was so much fun, and people got a kick out of it. So I had people come up to me at our booth and say, "Oh, I loved your video. I saw that." So that was neat to see. So we had a good time. Let's see. Oh, yes, I did. That's right. And you were outnumbered in votes. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. I was going to say, I thought I did this and I couldn't remember. Um, yeah. So I still have yet to film that little video showing off the new Pikachu build that I did. Also, I had intended to share the builds from the Build with BJB build challenge on Sunday because that's the day that it closed. But then I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait until Monday because there might be some that come in late, which is fine. And that way I can share them all at once. And then it was just the busyness of South by Southwest. And I thought, I'll just wait till this is over and then I'll share them. So today it's over. I'm done. So I should share them maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but I need to get around to sharing them soon. So that's on my radar. If you submitted a build, I promise you I saw it. I just haven't shared about it yet. And if you didn't submit a build, shame on you. Just kidding. Of course not. Happy to have you join though for future ones too. So I'm from Belgium, where the Tintin comics come from. Yay, fun! You're so happy Tintin got a Lego set because not a lot of people are familiar with your Belgian culture. Things like this really help. That is so cool. And I would have to say, I'm very excited about the opportunity to learn more about Tintin. So it's really fun to get exposure to something that's different. So thank you for sharing in the chat. And thanks for joining. So it's Thomas. Nice to meet you virtually. So, also, sometimes I don't realize if I already know someone from Instagram, especially if your Instagram name is different than your YouTube name. So, if we've already met, my apologies. But it's good to see you here. I'm glad that you joined. Um, in just a second, I will be wrapping up bag 2 and I'll show you what I'm building here. It's these little sections that I'm building 3 times over. And I think that's going to go on these yellow axles to create basically a 6-sided shape that we'll then be building around the outside. So lots of use of Technic beams here, but then getting straight into the Lego brick portion of it as well. So it looks like the Technic components are going to be pretty integral to the interior here, but shifting to regular brick built pretty quickly as well. So there won't be a lot of Technic core. So yeah, Belgium is on our list of countries to visit. So that will be a someday visit. I'm not sure when. Our next trip will be to Paris, which is very exciting. We're going for our best friend's birthday, and it's her 40th. We've talked about this for a number of years, and we're really, really excited about it, but it's coming up very soon. So getting kind of nervous that it's almost around the corner, and there's a lot to do before we go. So, all right. Okay, so these, interestingly, these are not connecting where I thought they were. Is that right? Let me see. Let me figure this out real quick. Oh yeah, no. So these actually just stack on top of the ones before, which maybe, I don't know. I'm really interested in this little axle sticking out that we have 3 of them sticking out around the sides, but we're not going to be connecting them yet. So here's an up close view of one of the tower things that I built for this portion. And this again stacks on the previous portion that we had before. So that'll go there. And then we attach these guys, these 1x8 red tiles to go up the sides here. And that'll help hold those sections together as well. So it's both visual, but then also for stability. So we'll get those on. Let's see here. You have great news. Thanks to a referral from Crystal, you were going to Brickcentric on Friday night. Hey, that's awesome, Brandon. Oh, I'm so excited for you. You have to tell us all about it. I'm so sad we're missing it, but would love to hear all about it. So, hey, new friend. I'm Justin. Nice to meet you. And welcome to my channel. So I am BradyJoynerBricks online, and I am often most recognized from Lego Masters Season 5 in the US. So I was on there with my teammate, John. But yeah, I am also a Lego ambassador, so I get to build a lot of the sets before they hit store shelves and chat with y'all about them. So that's what I do a lot of my live streams on. And then I also use this channel to do some tutorial content. So how to build some cool things. So today we are building Tintin's rocket, Tintin's Moon Rocket. And this is from Lego Ideas. It'll be released on April 1st. But welcome. So here's bag 2. Interesting pieces, lots of Technic core on the inside, but jumping to that brick built portions very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see as we go what comes about from this. You're building Lego and you have colorful hair, 2 colors and orange spectacles. Wow. Yes. I love color. So love vibrant colors, of course. But yes. And colorful personality. Thank you. I would agree. I appreciate that. All right, so we're getting to our next minifig. I'm guessing this would be the captain. We'll have to have our resident Belgian help us out with this, but I'm pretty sure that's who I'm going to be building here. I think that the spacesuit is the same across all the figures, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that from Fan Media days. So let's take a look and see, but pretty sure that these will be the same. Also, I want you to take a look at the leg printing on this too, because it is more detailed than what it looks like at a quick glance. Here we have 2 expressions for Captain, one that's a little bit more of a smile and one that's more of a smirk or frown maybe, but angry eyebrows. So here we go. Yeah. So here's who you see here, which is a lot of fun. I think this is the captain. Please, Thomas, let us know if I'm right. And he'll also have the same type of pack on his back, I think. Let's see. Yep, that'll be the same pack. So actually, same design as what we had for Tintin as well. So thanks for asking in the chat. I appreciate that. So my pronouns I use he or they, yeah. So and yeah, I live in Austin, Texas, so the center of the U.S. more or less, and have a lot of fun here. So we just got done displaying at South by Southwest, which was a lot of fun. We got to display our Lego creations there, and I was doing it with TexLUG. So if you're familiar with Lugs, that's a Lego user group, and we had a lot of fun with that. Captain Haddock, awesome. He is your favorite character. That is really cool. Nice. Is he kind of rough and gruff? I'm curious. So, hey Hector, hi friend, welcome back. Also, happy birthday to the hubby. Thank you. Yeah, I will let him know that you said happy birthday. He is unfortunately in his office on Zoom calls, so still finishing his workday, but gave me a little bit of time to dive into this build. So, yeah. Yes, and drunk. Oh, nice. I'm excited to get to know Captain Haddock a little bit more. You know what? I left him bald. I need to maybe put his hairpiece on. So I'm only familiar with the movie of Tintin. So I was curious too. I thought Rin Tintin was the same, or I questioned if it was the same, and was confirmed in the chat today that it's not. So I'm curious if there's a Tintin movie as well. So what do you do for a living? I do this. I do Lego art, I do Lego content creation, and I do consulting. So I consult with businesses specifically around employee engagement and around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And oftentimes that consulting includes Lego, which is a lot of fun. Many of my clients really enjoy the Lego aspect and finding fun ways to connect their employees to some cool things. So that's an option that we often dive into as well. So, but not every client. It depends on what their needs are and what they're wanting to do. But yes, there's the short answer for you. I actually had a lot of fun chatting with businesses at South by. So it was really, really great to meet different people from all over and talk with them about some ideas that I had with them. So I'm excited to see if any of that results in any new clients as well. So USA seems fun there. There's a job for everything. There is. It's really, yeah, really lots of really cool things. I didn't expect to be doing this as a part of my work in the future, or in the past, but it's something that I kind of fell into. And part of that was I applied to be a Lego ambassador a number of years ago, and Lego accepted me, and so that helped. With creating a new opportunity. So, and then I was doing work as a consultant on the side of my full-time job before. So, all right, I forgot to show you. So take a look at these legs. There's some interesting printing there on the bottom of the legs. And then I love the line that's like this shiny silver line that you see both on the bottom of the torso and also at the front of the feet. So, yeah. Yeah. And then, yep, here we go. So lots of fun with this suit, but it looks like it's an identical replica of the suit that Tintin was wearing as well. But yes, to our friends who are familiar with Tintin, okay, yes. So yes, Spielberg made one. Then there's an animated series from the 90s and some older live actions from Belgium, if you remember correctly. Awesome. I had thought I had seen something about a Tintin movie. So I'm glad that y'all have been asking these questions because I had some of the same ones. And I'm glad that we have some experts here who know and can give us a sense of that. So I will be looking up this movie by Spielberg, which should have asked Philip, honestly, because he would have known. Spielberg is his favorite director, and rightfully so, because he has some incredible films. And yeah, really looking forward to chatting with him more about it and maybe watching it with him together soon. So, for those who are new, Philip is my husband, and he is. It's his birthday today, so he's working at his job right now, working from home, while I'm building these fun Lego creations and having a good time. So, And then we're gonna go and celebrate his birthday tonight and tomorrow as well. So yeah. Is it a rainbow sweatshirt or a LGBTQ sweatshirt? It's not. So this is actually from a brand out of California. I think the I can't remember if the brand's name is I think it begins with an A. I can't remember. But yeah, we actually got this at ACL, Austin City Limits, a number of years back too. So, but it's a very comfortable sweatshirt. It actually was Philip's before it was mine, and then he gifted it to me, and it's one of my favorite sweatshirts. And our house is a little cold because we keep the AC on pretty low. And I'm usually chilly, he's not. And so I just wear layers all the time. Let's see. All right, so this is another interesting, um, new to me bracket piece, or not bracket. What do we call these? I just forgot the technical word for them. But the rounded pieces. So this one has a Technic hole in the middle with the axle, and then has two Technic pinholes on the left and right. I don't think I have many that are, or any that are this shape. Um, oh, what's it called? That's gonna drive me nuts. And I know the word, but of course, because I need to come up with it in the moment, it's gone from my brain. So yeah, they sure do, and it is awesome. Let's see. Oh, yep, it is awesome. Agreed, Ben. Um, all right, so this piece is going up here on top, and it looks like it alternates with the one below it, so that, oops, that we get, let me reattach this, but so that we get it to line up with these axles, the yellow ones that are here on the bottom. So, um, let me just make sure I have it aligned correctly. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, I love with these ones where you have 3 points on them. So, like we see with this brown piece here, you can see it's really important when putting them on that you put them on correctly. The center circle on the inside has a plus shape in there, but because it's got 3 pieces around the outside, you just have to make sure that it's arranged the right way. So, um, so yes. Um, Well, here in my community, we see it as awesome. So if that's something that makes you uncomfortable, you're welcome to bounce. And if it's something that doesn't make you uncomfortable, you're welcome to stay. Let's see. All right. So we'll continue putting some of these on. It looks like I'm going to start building out the interior or the connection pieces that go between these 3 sections. So that's where we're going to be using these axles together. So excited to see how all that's going to fit. The Lego math that has to be done in order to fit all this perfectly is just incredible. The designers are so smart, and this is one of those things that I just really get inspired by, and I learned so much from them. So that's one of the reasons why I highly recommend that people build Lego sets. So I was talking to a mom who was talking about how her daughter loves to open the bags and dump them out and not use the instructions at all. And I was sharing about how that's awesome. I love to hear that creativity, but also I love to see, um, you know, kids learn from the experts too. So, starting from the instructions first gives them the opportunity to learn from the experts who design the sets, and how that also gives you some new ideas that you can incorporate into your own mocks. Um, so yeah, it's a really interesting, or it was really fun to just chat with these these folks at South by and to encourage them to try some new build things if they hadn't before. Okay, this is really fun. So I'm going to show you the instruction book so you get a sense of how this all works. But essentially, we are putting on multiples of that piece over and over again, but we're rotating the orientation that it slides on so that you can see. You need to line it up effectively with these larger pictures. And that is very helpful when we see that above picture to get a sense of how to put things on correctly for the set. But it also shows how, in doing so, we're able to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different angles of connections. And oh, wow. Okay, y'all, take a look at this. We keep going page after page. And it keeps jumping through to where we're creating all different directions with this. So I think that's going to go up here on the top, I would assume. But yeah, we will see as we go through. All right, the next one, and we're also alternating colors as we use this too. And so I think that'll be helpful to make sure that you have the right pieces in the right orientation. So this is one where I just need to be careful as I'm putting the pieces on to make sure that they're on appropriately. All right, so if I have the plus shape of the uh, axle in the right direction, then this one is going to go upside down with the plus shape in that same direction. There we go. So it makes basically like a six-sided, perfectly evenly distributed asterisk shape. And then we'll go and add the next one, which we're going to be using some blue for this one. So interesting how it all kind of builds together. So let's see, what else do we have in the chat? I am building, yeah, I am building a ton of, all right, sorry, I am building the Tintin set. So this is the set that it releases on April 1st, and it is the 75th LEGO Ideas approved set. So LEGO Ideas is a platform where LEGO builders from around the world can submit their own designs online, and then the LEGO group reviews them. And if you get 10,000 votes, the LEGO group will review them, and then some of them become real sets. So this one is connected to Tintin. And then what was the Thunderbolts logo? Trying to see where that connects. Brandon, I don't understand your question about the Thunderbolts logo. If you want to ask again or help connect the dots for me because I'm missing that piece. And then this is another thing where it's like you have to angle it correctly. Let me just figure out. The sets like this, I don't ever think about as being tough to do on a live stream, but having to make sure that you have the angle correct makes it challenging. So bear with me for just a second as I outline this appropriately. I think it's going to be, is it that way? There we go. Okay. I do appreciate again that the instructions help. So here's what it looks like from above. And that is aligned with the picture here. So you can see down in the bottom right corner or bottom left corner how this works. So, so yeah. All right. So move on and we add on the next row, and it looks like they keep having us alternate colors, which is smart. That's going to make it really easy to figure out later. Um, all right, what else do we have? Where did your husbands find a child? You can look that up online if you're interested. My husband and I don't have one. The asterisk, yeah, like it's exactly the asterisk. Oh, that's what you're saying. The question is, um, oh, I gotcha. Thank you, Hector. The asterisk, yes. So the asterisk looks like the Thunderbolts logo. It does for sure. Um, yeah. So yep. Yeah, I'd happy to chat about Lego. I don't mind chatting about my personal life and whatnot too, but this platform isn't necessarily my content's not um, just for us to talk about how queer families grow. So if that's something of interest to you, I'm happy to hear that, and you can find plenty of information online. I know that I'm a part of some different Facebook groups for. Um, Queer families as they grow their families, and so that's a great resource for me. So, uh, yeah, feel free to check those out if you'd like. All right. So the nice thing about as we start to rotate through, now that I have all of the, well, is this all of them? I think it's all of them. The first three down. Now you can more easily adjust them by kind of mapping things or matching things effectively. So what I mean by that is the red and the gray, this is hard to explain, but the red and the gray, you can see the gray points down, the red points straight up. That's just like taking this and flipping it upside down to get it right. The next one is the blue and the white do the same. So if I can figure out how to match the blue perfectly, then I can adjust to, like, this would be if it were directly aligned. I can flip that over the other way, and that helps make the next row of this fit. So all right, done with that. Okay, this is really fun. Y'all, this is like it's making me want to design something, um, like maybe a Christmas ornament or something. I don't know, or like a garland or something that could be really fun, and interesting in a different way. So, all right, so now we will do the next one, which is another red one. Um, so it looks like we might start repeating the pattern as we go through. So let's see. So yeah, so this set comes out April 1st. I want to say it's 160 about that. But I'm curious for those of y'all on the chat, what are some of the sets that you've heard about that you're really excited to see, or that Lego has officially announced, I should say? Because as we know, I can't talk about any not spoilers, but any leaks that have come out. So one I'm very excited about is, well, obviously we talked last week, I think, about Luigi. So very excited for Luigi. I think that'll be a really fun one. And then the Jurassic Park Jeep, very excited about. I had bought Philip the T-Rex Escape years ago, and that was one of my favorite builds to do with him. We had a really good time. And then the T-Rex skeleton last year was also incredible. But as far as Jeeps go, we have a small one, but it'll be nice to build a much more complete, larger one that possibly fits the scale of the T-Rex. It might be a little too big. I'm not sure. So, the funny thing would be you couldn't do anything about it. I don't know what that means. Um, so, yeah, let's see. So aligning this, okay, the nice thing too now is the red aligns with the red, so it's much easier to place these effectively. All right, so, and then here for some reason we're adding on this pink piece that's like the little circle. And Sauron's helmet. Oh yeah, for sure. If you remember correctly, they're releasing some new Star Wars ship models and Sauron's helmet. Yes. Yeah, I know a lot of people are very, very excited about that one too. So, oh, I think my message didn't go through. Okay. There's so many leaks. I know, right? And I'm not allowed to say anything about it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Brickheads, you're super excited for. Hopefully, we get more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sets. Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what's to come. I saw today that Lego shared some news about one of the new pirates that they're introducing with the One Piece sets. And I'm very excited for that. And also, does any of you watch One Piece? And if so, have you started season two on Netflix? We haven't started season two yet, and so I'm looking forward to it whenever we get around to it, which should be a lot of fun. But yeah, excited to see that announcement today. So um, I'm also curious to see if this year if we'll get any more of the Wicked sets. I kind of think we won't. I think they're. My assumption is they're done now that the movies have released, but I know lots of people that would love to see more, so myself included. All right. Tony Chopper. Yes, very excited about Chopper. So I'm on episode 5 of season 1 and episode 5 of the anime. Oh, nice. I haven't done the anime at all, so can't wait to see what they do with the X-Files one. Is that through Lego Ideas that they announced? Um, so excited. Yeah, and I don't know. Oh, Lego had the one with the Triceratops skeleton, right, where they were showing the digging and they were, like, brushing off all the powder, so it was very reminiscent of, is that the first yeah, the very first movie, the opening of the first movie, right? Or just shortly after the opening of the first movie, it's when we first meet Dr. Grant, and Dr. Sadler, uh, which I think is so fun. It was a great way to introduce them. Yeah, the Jurassic Park Jeep, huge fan of, very excited for. And I was surprised they didn't show us anything about the Triceratops at Pan Media Days. So usually the big sets get announced, but I think because they were announcing the Jeep, um, so that that is probably why. Um, because they announced the Jeep, they didn't plan to announce the skeleton at that time. But yeah, that's one that I would have expected to see. And I don't know if the year before if they announced the T-Rex skeleton there or not, since I wasn't there that year. But I would assume that that would be another one too. Um, so yeah. Um, I just to clarify too, new friend, I'm not opposed to talking about being queer and to answering questions about that. That's not something that I find off limits. But I would say that the majority of my content is centered around creativity and Lego. And so in these live streams, I think it's usually I like to focus more of my time talking about the sets and things and what people are up to in that sense. I also think that, sometimes people feel like they have questions out of genuine curiosity, and that's perfectly fine. But one way to ask me those questions would be to DM me. So that's another option too, if you want to find me on Instagram and connect in that sense as well. I don't tend to want to ban people from my YouTube presence or my Instagram account unless they are exhibiting bullying behaviors or being rude or whatever. And so, as long as your questions are coming from a genuine, kind place, I'm open to that. But I would say, at this point, it might be best to maybe DM me some of those as well. So, um, but don't feel super stressed out about it. Questions coming from a place of curiosity are great. Questions coming from a place of trying to pester or be rude or whatever, that's different. Um, so yeah. I'm curious to know where you're from, because it sounded like you were from outside the U.S. So it's always fun to see where my friends are and viewers are in different parts of the world. I know that we've got some great folks over in the UK and in Belgium and Germany that often join our feeds here or my live streams here. And I've got friends all over the globe, especially through Instagram, that show up in different places. So, what future IPs would you like to see? I love that question. That's a really great question for sure. So, um, hmm, I heated rivalry because we loved the TV show, and I'm loving the books. Let's see what other future IPs though. Honestly, I would. There's a lot of book series that haven't been turned um, into things like movies and film, or I mean movies and TV, that I think would be really fun IP to see. Tintin, as I know, started as a comic series, right? From what we've been hearing in the chat too, and so I think it'd be really fun to see if there's other comics that haven't been turned into movies or film. I think that'd be interesting. So, India. Um, okay, yeah, we're not gonna chat about that. So, yeah, I am queer because I'm queer. So, and I didn't think that you were liking me in any weird way. So, um, I would say if you don't have any more questions about Lego, then you can bounce. We're happy to have you stay if you have questions about Lego. Otherwise, you can move on. Um, okay, what was I saying? Uh, oh, the IPs. The question from Hector. So, yeah. Question from Hector about what IPs I'd like to see. Curious to know if y'all want to fill in the chat too with your answers of what IPs you'd like to see come about. That would be great to see and to hear from y'all as well. Yeah, I would love to see some books, book series potentially. As an avid reader, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of specific ones though that I think would be good. Um, what other shows? Um, what would be really fun is Only Murders in the Building. We love that show so much. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm going to, let's see. There we go. All right. If we go with comic, Lucky Luke. Oh, yeah. I think you did a build about Lucky Luke. Um, that was earlier in the build challenges when we were doing the daily builds and whatnot. It looks like something from if books, something from Brandon Sanderson would be fun. Ooh, tell me about Brandon Sanderson. That's really fun. It'd be interesting to see. Honestly, that's part of why I love Lego Ideas, is it gives people the opportunity to create something that they love, that really inspires them, and find a fandom of people around them that love it as well. One that I was really excited about that I think hit 10,000, but that didn't get approved was the one for Heartstopper. I love that series. It's so heartfelt. It's such a great coming of age story and has wonderful characters and so much sweetness and so much heart to it that I thought that would be perfectly suited for Lego. And I was disappointed that that was one that didn't get approved. So maybe that one. And I would highly recommend that our friend Feastbricks on Instagram resubmit a new one for that as well. I think that would be great. It's a fantasy author. Apple just bought license to his entire universe. Okay. In that case, we're going to see his stuff come about through movies and film and such. In which case, maybe we actually will see some sets by that. Philip and I were actually just talking today about how cool it is that Lego decided to do the IP for the movie that came out of a book that Ryan Reynolds is in. Ryan Reynolds? No, Ryan Gosling. Excuse me. Sorry, Ryan. That is out in theaters now. Oh my gosh, what's it called, y'all? I know you know this. I know this, and it's escaping me. We just got movie tickets to see it this weekend. Hail Mary. And so I love that they decided to dive in with that. One of the Ryans, exactly right. Yes, yes. Hail Mary. Thank you for helping me with that, or helping fix my brain freeze moment there. Um, yeah. That one I think will be interesting, in that case, sorry, I'm losing my mind here. In that case, Lego decided to do a set for a film that has yet to be released, and that's not normal for them. Usually, it's kind of flipped the other way around. And we were talking about it, and we were trying to come up with other examples of where Lego did. And one was Wicked, but Wicked already had a huge following and a lot of visibility and awareness from the Broadway show. And then the other that we came up with was Piece by Piece, which obviously that was a partnership for the Lego movie, so that made sense too. But yeah, it's exciting, and it makes me hope that we'll get more kind of along those same types of lines as well. So Percy Jackson, OMG, we love Only Murders in the Building. Yes, we do too. So fun. Percy Jackson, I've heard really good things about. Do you recommend? I think there's a movie series and there's also a TV series. Is that right? And if so, do you recommend one or the other? Because it's a new story that I don't have a lot of visibility and awareness around, and so of the story. And so I'd love to know if you have any recommendations on how to begin with it. So. And I'm guessing you'll say to read it, which is a great recommendation. If I want to start it with Philip, since we're both on our own book series right now, I won't be reading it for a long time, so I want to watch it first, but I probably will end up reading it too. So seems a little up my alley. Let's see. Definitely, yes. Anything Studio Ghibli. Agreed. I'm surprised that we have yet to see something there. There have been so many Lego ideas over time, and so many incredible mocks that I've seen. Actually, our friend Claire did a beautiful Totoro um, movie poster one that's just incredible. So, what am I reading? I am currently reading the Heated Rivalry series. So, I am on the second book, which is called Heated Rivalry. The first book is Game Changers. It is cheesy male romance, all about um, hockey players, and it's really well written and a lot of fun. It's a very steamy, spicy book, and but I really enjoyed it. It's great. Really interesting characters, and it's really fun to see queer representation in the media and in um, sports in particular. And so, so yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And Philip is currently reading. I think it's the Lev A.C. Anderson, Lev A.C. Rosen books. Lev A.C. Rosen is the author. I can't remember what they're called, but Hector, I think you read those. And so if you want to type in the chat what those books are called or what that book series is, the Lev A.C. Rosen ones. That's what Philip is working on. And he might have pushed pause on them to dive into the second book in the holiday uh, romance series. I don't know if you call it romance, but the holiday series that was like um, the first one was the Prince of Christmas dating the Prince of Halloween. And this one is about the Prince of St. Patrick's Day, I think. I can't remember what those books are called. So that's what Philip's going through. So okay, so we're getting these clips in here, and I want to show you because this is interesting to see. We have them in green. I don't know that I've ever seen these clips in green. If anybody wants to look that up and let me know, that'd be fun to drop that in the chat. But that's new to me in terms of the color. We obviously have a ton of the clips because they always provide extras in sets. But yeah, new to me in that sense. All right. So we are done with. Nope, just kidding. I jumped the gun. We have a few more parts. Wait. Oh, I did that wrong. Dadgummit. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot to take apart. Shoot. Okay. Please hold. I mistakenly put all of these little white pin pieces inside and thought that's where those green clips go, but the green clips actually go in this red one that was already in there, and then also in a gray one on the red pieces. And so now I have to slowly go through and take every single one out. Oh, that one came out easily. That's oh good. Okay, maybe if I'm lucky. Okay. Whew. Much better. All right. Never mind. It's much easier to manage than I thought. Crisis averted. Almost. Just have to take these clips out and reinstall them. So yes, on Studio Ghibli though. I think that would be a good option. Anybody else have any ideas of an IP that they'd like to see in Lego? Or Lego do? Oh man, I put this one in the wrong place too. I am just all sorts of messed up on this today. There we go. All right, Percy Jackson movies are very fast-paced, but they only did 2 movies on 2 books. And the TV series will have 3 seasons, 3 books so far by the end of the year. There's talks for season 4. Awesome. So I think what we'll do is we'll probably dive into is it Netflix, I think? But we'll dive into the TV series eventually, whenever we get around to that. There's so much to watch and so much to catch up on, and we're going to be gone for a little over a week on a trip, and so coming up soon, and so that's also going to take some time away from keeping pace with our shows and things. So yeah, I think another one that would be fun is RuPaul's Drag Race. It'd be fun to do a set, and I've seen people do mocks and things for the workroom, and I think that'd be a really fun one. Just very interesting, lots of pink. It would also be great to see them actually cross with Mattel and do a Barbie Dream House. That will never happen, y'all. It will never ever happen unless Barbie gets escapes Mattel, since they're such deep competitors. But yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. AC Rosen books. He's a career detective solving murders. First book was amazing. The rest of the books you'll be reading the rest of the year. Awesome. So Philip is on the second or third book of that series, and I can't remember the something Detectives Club. I think I can't remember. All right, done with bag 3. This had the interesting asterisk shape that we also said was a variety of other things too. And yeah, let's dive into bag 4. We're making some good progress. It's 3:30. I'm probably going to go until just a little past 4 today, maybe 4:30. Just because I have some fun stuff I need to take care of for Philip's birthday before he gets off his calls today. But yeah, I think we can make some good progress. And now, okay, this is exciting though. We're getting to the white and red sections. So this was the part I was most excited about, was to see how these sections were built, because they're actually quite large and take up a lot of space. And so, yeah, first off, I just have to show you how neat it is and how great it is that we have these 1x5 plates now. These 1x5 plates work perfectly with the curved pieces to create these larger sections. So you can see up at the top, on the top and bottom, we have those 2x2 ones. And then in the middle, we have this 1x4 curve. And so that's what holds it all together, is that middle piece. It's pretty critical and important to it. We're going to build 3 of these, and they are going to connect in on the inside. But initially, we just have them connecting with that one piece in the middle, but then some other pieces on the inside will keep them secure as well. Oh, and another new to me piece. I've seen these with one pinhole or pin sticking out of the bottom, but this one has 2. So that's also going to help hold it a little bit more firmly as well. So almost done with the build out of the first one, and then I'll show you what the one piece looks like, and then we will put them on and begin assembling around the outside edge here. So Really, really fun stuff. All right, here is the first one. We've got green and yellow bars on the edges. And these pins are going to go into the holes that you see, I think, on these white ones. And so to give you an example, we'll put the first one on, but it sits in right there. You can see it creates that rounded shape, and this is going to allow us to have 6 shapes as we work our way around that alternate between white and red, which is going to be very satisfying once it's done. The one piece is real. The one piece is real. Yes. I don't know what that means. I know the show One Piece. You might be talking about a Lego piece that's real. I could have just missed it altogether. Apologies if I did. So, all right. It's a One Piece meme. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I unfortunately am apparently behind on that one and not aware. So I'll have to look it up later. But thank you. Sometimes I feel like through these chats in our live streams that I learn something brand new every time where I'm like, wow, I was out of the loop with that one. So, all right. Here's the next one. So satisfying to get these sections on. And it's going to be so nice once it's finished to have them all in place together. It's a really, really nice build technique, a very creative build technique. And the woman who designed this, she's awesome. She's an incredible builder. And it was really fun to get to hear her talk about her experience as a Lego designer. So we have some really fantastic Lego designers that work and create some of our favorite sets. And she's one of them. So it's been such a joy to get to know more of the designers through this opportunity as a Lego Fan Media ambassador. So I'm grateful that that's something that we see through this, that we get to form relationships with them and know more about their work and how they approach it. So, all right. Final one, we will snap this one on and then get on with the red, which is great. What's interesting is instead of using 1x5s in red, we're keeping them in white for the red ones. So it must be hidden within, and or the little bit that would show between the two, since it's between two white sides, works out well. But that was not what I was expecting. I was thinking it would be all solid red, but I guess not. So this is repeating basically the exact same thing we just did over and over and over again. And I think that that's going to be um, over the next handful of bags. We might have that repetition. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm curious as to how many times. Actually, I could probably get a sense from the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of repetition in this set once you get past the internal core, but that's okay. Again, it's fun. And it's interesting to see how a Lego designer figures out how to make these complex shapes. So, all right. All right. Well, also, the red pieces are ever so slightly different because the white ones had a green plate here and here. The red ones don't because it pushes up against where those would be. So that's the only change, though. Otherwise, it's basically the same build. Um, so, okay. I was excited to see the builds come through for the build challenge. We had quite a few people participate. I want to say like 6. I was hoping for a few more. So if that's you and you didn't build for it, I'd love to see you build for the next one. I plan to figure out the instructions and things for the next one and share them at the beginning of next week so that you have a little under a month to do your build for the next time. And probably after this live stream today or maybe tomorrow, I will finally get around to sharing the builds to my stories on Instagram. So, but yeah, it's been really neat to see how people took the instructions they learned and apply them to the build that they created. So, really interesting mocks and fun storytelling that we saw come through. Okay. So we are done with the builds for these. Now let's snap them into place. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Here we go. If you look at the end, it has all green and has a nice rounded shape to it. That goes all the way around with those alternating reds and whites. That's a very, very sleek design. We are going to move into bag 5 and get another new minifigure. So for my Tintin fans, you're going to have to help me figure out who this next figure is. And maybe give us a brief descriptor of them so that we understand a little bit about their personality like you did with the last one. So this one is a balding friend. He's got a great little mustache and glasses. And the same spacesuit as the others. So, like we already saw. And then we have 2 twins that are going to be the final ones. Octan colors, yes! Right? With that little bit of green popping out, it's just perfect. It's a nice reference. Nice throwback reference. So we are actually making an Octan rocket that's going to go to the moon. Sponsored by Octan. Okay. So this is fun. You know what? I was gonna say I haven't seen this in this color, but that might not be true. This might have come in this color with um was George Costanza's hairpiece? Professor Calculus, thank you. Was George Costanza's hairpiece this one that has the bald head and then the hair around the outside edges? Or am I misremembering that? I haven't built that set, so it's not as top of mind for me. All right. He's cute. So here's Professor Calculus. That's fun. I love his face print. That's really cute. And that hairpiece is new to me. If anybody can confirm if that's new all around, I know that I have it in gray with a Lego Batman movie set or a minifig from the CMF line. That's Alfred, but I don't think I have it in this color. And actually, I think it's slightly different because I think his skin tone might be slightly different. I can't remember. So, very clever scientist, but he can't hear and then he just assumes things. So, many, many jokes. Awesome. Thank you, Stefan. I love learning more about these characters. And again, it's fun to get a better glimpse into what the story is. So, the Bat Space Shuttle. Oh my God. Yes. So many great builds from that series for sure. In this story, he actually gets hearing aids, which just adds more jokes. Nice. That's fun. I like to learn more about these new to me characters. Oh, did y'all see the announcement about the new Crocs? I know that Lego gave us the information to share, but I didn't see it until later after everybody else had already shared it. So I thought, I'm not going to share. People have already seen this. But I saw it on Tuga Afol's account, and it's exactly what I assumed was coming, which is actual Crocs and actual gibbets that go with the Crocs. So I, just as I thought, the promotional ones they sent us that are blocky and silly were really designed to capture your attention, get you intrigued, and get people talking. And they fully accomplished that goal. So I'm glad I have them. They're so silly and stupid, and fun and funny. And, they're just kind of a silly thing to have in my collection. But I will say that I'm glad that we're getting real Crocs. And Lego, if you're listening, I would like a pair of the real Crocs as well, to have, so I can wear them instead of the blocky ones that you sent me. So it was really silly and really funny, and I thought it was a nice campaign. Um, Lots of people had strong opinions, as always. So, um, and you know what? Strong opinions are allowed. It's perfectly fine. To me, though, your strong opinion needs to be framed in the way that it needs to be, which is an opinion. It's not fact. Your opinion is the way that you see the world, and someone else might have a different opinion. And that means that both of those opinions can't be fact, right? It's just an opinion. So that's where I get a little annoyed when people respond to things and say, like, this is terrible. No, let's reframe. You think this is terrible. That's true, you know, right? Or just as likely, if I were to say, these are amazing, and this is the best thing ever, and everyone else who thinks differently is dumb. Nope, that's not true. That's just my opinion. So, you placed your order on the Lego store this morning for the new Crocs. Of course you did. What color did you get? Which one did you get? And did you get any of the gibbets? And are you already a Crocs wearer, or did they convince you? I need to know. I need to know all the details. I was just having to look close to see what that emoji is. Yeah, I was excited to see that post come through because it was exactly what I was picturing and assuming would happen. They didn't tell us either. They just introduced the really cool blocky Crocs, which I think is so funny. I loved it. But also, Philip works in advertising. We love silly things like that that get people thinking and talking and things. And Philip hates them and thinks they're ridiculous. But also, it got him talking and thinking about it too. So it doesn't mean that they're a good product that people should buy. To me, it was a wonderful idea for a silly thing. So, let's see. The next two characters are Thompson and Thompson. Thank you. They are two intelligent agent, good friends with Tintin, but they also try and arrest him many times. They are not clever. Okay, I did get the sense that they were not clever from what the person was saying at Fan Media Days. I got the black ones. Yes, I'm a Crocs wearer already. Okay, cool. Now I'll have comfy shoes for Disneyland and Lego store visits. I love that. Okay, cool. They are also not twins. They just look like, oh, okay. I assumed they were twins. Thank you. And their names are Thompson and Thompson. That's funny. And it looks like you spelled one with a P and one without. Is that on purpose? So they have two different spellings of their name, or differently spelled names. Gosh, why was that hard? My words are failing me, or my mind is rather. Okay, let's keep going, shall we? That is funny. I do like that the names are different. You can differentiate them by their mustache. Oh, that's even better. Okay, nice. I love this. I'm so glad that you're here while I'm building this one in particular because you're giving us all the information we need to have a better experience with it. So more knowledge about these characters is always fun. All right. Y'all, the place we're going for karaoke will be a lot of fun. It is a newly renovated space that used to be just a roller rink where you could go roller skating. But then they bought out the antique shop next door, and they refurbished the whole thing and made the antique store into a bowling alley and axe throwing place and karaoke and um, what's the paddle ball thing? I can't remember what we call it. That everybody's doing now. All these different activities there, and it's a really really cool place. Little mini arcade. It's a really nice setup, and so we're really excited to go back again. We went for my birthday week and had a really good time bowling, just the two of us, and exploring what it is. So I'm excited to go back and experience their karaoke rooms. We both love karaoke. And back in our youth, in our younger days, we did karaoke a ton with our group of friends. And so we've got a great group that really enjoys it that's going to come with us today, and they'll have a lot of fun. So we are looking forward to it. And this one I did wrong. I did it backwards. Dadgummit. I got way too fast in build mode and wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing. What I did backwards was you can build on the top here or on the underside here, and all of these are built on the top and then it sits down, and I started this one on the underside. So not a big deal, just is what it is. As a kid, you read Tintin a lot and you watched the animated series and you still do. Nice. A lot more than Marvel or DC. Oh, cool. That's fun. I didn't really read any comics that were superhero comics for the most part growing up. The ones I read were Garfield and Peanuts and Calvin and Hobbes. And there was an offshoot of Garfield that was Farm Animals that I also read that I loved. And yeah, so my experience with like the Marvel universe and all that kind of stuff came a little bit more as an adult. Although I did read a little bit of X-Men comics, I think I remember. So not too much though. I don't even really remember a comic book store growing up. I'm sure there was one in Loveland where I grew up, but not off the top of my head that I can recall. Also, it was kind of a time in life where people were really rude and bullied people for having anything that was a slightly different idea of having a fun time. So, like, if you were a comic book kid, you were a huge nerd and were bullied quite a bit for it. So, I think that also prevented a lot of kids from ever engaging with that hobby. Honestly, I think my parents probably didn't have us read comics because they didn't wanna get us hooked on something that they would have to spend money on every single month, and I don't blame them 'cause those types of hobbies can get very expensive very quickly, and there's plenty of things that you can do that you don't always have to buy something brand new all the time, so I'm sure that's part of it. I think that's the same reason for why they didn't let us play Pokemon. I assume, I could be wrong, but yeah. It is fun now as an adult, though, to make my own decisions around some of those hobbies that I want to make. So, okay, this is interesting. So, on the underside of this, we are putting on some parts in an interesting way. So, using the middle um, anti studs on the bottom of this light gray piece, we can put the studs of the blue and tan stack inside. So yeah. I was admittedly kind of dreading the experience with South by Southwest, not because of South by, um, and not because I don't like displaying. I actually love displaying Lego, but just the effort to have to pack everything up at home, get it downtown in the middle of all the traffic and all the people that are visiting from South by, and set everything up and park in the loading dock and all the things that go in with it. And truthfully, on Sunday, when I went to go set it all up, as soon as I got to the convention center and saw my friends and their displays getting set up too, it was like, you know what? This is such a fun opportunity. I'm so glad that I have these friends that I get to do this with and that I have enough builds to just be like, yeah, let me just pick and choose from the mini builds I have at home that I want to bring. And like it was so much fun. And it also once I realized on Monday how the traffic was going to be really great because of spring break, up until you get into the downtown area. It's like, this is great. This is so much fun. I had a really, really good time. So happy that we had that opportunity. And I got to be interviewed by the news. And so I just reshared their post about it, or that they did of it from my Instagram account. So you can see it there, and also on Facebook. But that was a treat to get to do. And yeah, I don't know. It was just so much fun. And I love talking about Lego Masters and talking with fans of the show. And I talked with a lot of people who didn't know what the show was. So I hopefully created some new fans of the show. And then I also talked with a lot of people who had watched it, but hadn't watched it in many years. And when they found out I was on season 5, they were like, oh, we're going to go home and watch that, or we'll watch it on the plane. So I'm excited to see. I mean, I don't know if there's any way for me to know what the numbers are in terms of if it spikes, but I'd be really interested to see like if it spikes at all. So it was really fun. I felt like I made a lot of new fans of the show. So yay. All right. So now we're going to attach these. I built 6 of these. You can see the clip on the top, and then on the bottom we've got ball joints with the cups on the side. These are going to clip on to the yellow bar and then work their way down. And they will clip into each other side by side. So let me get these on and we'll clip them. So here's the first. That's very satisfying. It fits perfectly above this section. So hey, I see someone who has a birthday. Want to come say hi? Lots of people said happy birthday to you already. So yeah, it's this guy's birthday. He's on a break.
I can't hear you.
No, well, there's no way. I can't hear them either. Yeah. So I don't know if you can hear Philip. Yeah. Can you hear Philip? Yell into my ear. Don't yell in my ear, actually. Yay! Stefan says happy birthday. Hector said it earlier too. And a few other people may have said it too. Maybe Brandon. I'm not sure, but yes. Anyway, so hi. Having fun? Yep. Oh no. Okay, good. Earlier today, I was at physical therapy, and then afterward went to pick up his birthday treat from Starbucks. And he also got a pastry and forgot to eat it. So he's reheating it now. I hope it's just as delicious as it was when it first was heated up, which actually now I want my banana bread that I made. I'm gonna have to have some afterward. Yay. Thanks for celebrating his birthday with me, y'all. Okay, so more of the 1x5s. I feel like I keep seeing these in like nearly every set, but this one's the light bluish gray. Hector says happy birthday. He says thank you in a slightly sing-songy voice. We both do that a lot. All right. Breakaway? No, Sunshine Finals closing? No, but honestly, that makes me so sad. Oh, bummer. He just told me that one of our favorite record stores in town that only opened like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, Sunshine Vinyl, that they're closing. We love them so much. It's run by this incredible... But okay, I'll have to look at their post about it. That makes me super sad because they were amazing. I really loved them. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Womp womp.
Happy birthday to me!
Philip says happy birthday to me, but specifically about the closing of that record store that we love. That makes me sad. Maybe we'll have to go back and buy something else from them before they close. So you've only seen 1x5 plates, but not bricks. Yeah, I haven't seen the bricks yet. So they don't exist currently. I don't know if they ever will. There's also that kind of famous lore that a 1x5 doesn't exist. And so when they created the 1x5 plate, that kind of disrupted that a little bit. But my hope is that I think it's kind of fun to have a part that will never exist. So I kind of don't want them to ever create a 1x5 brick. So that also was a 1x5 was like a cheeky way for people to talk about women in the hobby, which I don't like so much. But I do like that some women have embraced that. So I know some women have used the image of a 1x5 as a way to say like women empowerment within our hobby, which I love. Lots of fun. I know that Kelly and Emily from season 4 of Lego Masters both got that as a tattoo, kind of to remind them of their fun season and fun experience there. And I love that so much. So, okay, let's see. Um, all right, and now we're building these interesting little slivers of red and white that are going to go on the outside as well. So I think these will fit in between the lines of the rockets, which I want to say, I'm gonna have to take a look. I'm really confused, y'all. I'm really confused as to why these exist. Maybe it's like it's gonna go between the two where you see the little line between the two. Emily was the reason you put Christopher as one of your verbal tics. That's funny, right? Yes. She is so funny, and she's actually really, really nice in person too. We've become pretty good friends through the magic of the Instagram, and finally got to meet in person at Brick Slopes, Utah, which was a lot of fun. So really, really love her. She's a gem. She also was super sweet with Philip when the show was airing, because she and her husband didn't go on the show together, so she missed her husband while she was on the show, and he missed her while she was there too. And so she reached out to Philip in particular to just chat with him about their experience, and just to thank him for supporting me so much with it, which was really sweet. She's, yeah, really, really nice. So, let's see. Okay, so these are so colorful and they very much scream Lego to me. Like those colors, blue, green, yellow, red, and white, with a little bit of that light bluish gray. That to me is like, I picture that as like the Lego wall, or what it just, yeah, makes me think of Lego for sure. Oh, I'm getting a little sleepy. Excuse me. My physical therapist, when I went in today, she asked how I'd been doing on my exercises, and I was like, I didn't do them. Sorry. The last week has been busy with South by stuff, so oops. But she's great. She's really interesting and fun and funny and nice, and like does she gives me a bit of a hard time if I don't do my stuff, but she's not like mean about it. So I do feel like I'm learning a lot, and that I'm improving a lot because of the physical therapy. So that's good. That's all really good and important. Uh, all right. Okay, we are done with 6 of these. So they are going to clip on those green clips and hide in between the lines here. I am guessing that's there so that when we put on the next layers of the red and white, that if there's a little sliver that you can see through, that you don't notice any difference in the colors. But I'm not exactly sure. And what's interesting is they push in and then they also stud in, I think. So they should, if I'm not mistaken, connect on, well, maybe not actually. Actually, no, I don't think they do. Never mind. I thought they studded in on the little white stud that's on the inside there. That's one of those like Technic studs, but doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe there'll be something else that we do to like make them connect later. I don't know. All right. So we're done with that. Which makes another interesting kind of series of lines and things. And then here we've got some narrow ones that are the white and red narrow parts of that. So, all right, the next thing that we do is we cover up the top portion of this with red lines. Yeah, so this must just be so that as we see the something come through, or as you see like between the lines a little bit, that it masks any of the Technic on the inside. So. And or maybe this also helps hold things in place a little bit. All right, so now we alternate the red and white with what was above. So we do red, then white. Okay, yeah, so now you can see. You can see that little tiny sliver in between the two. It helps to have something underneath it that is one of the colors. So, okay. Fun. So get all these on. Okay, ta-da! Do, 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 do. And what's interesting is they align with the row above them, but they're like ever so slightly indented in. So welcome back. I prevented you from sharing in the chat for a long time because after you were asked to keep the questions related to Lego and such, you kept asking a bunch of questions that weren't. So you're welcome back, and you're welcome to continue to chat with us about Lego or about what the conversations are here. But like I said, personal questions that you want to ask about my gym habits and about my life and my husband and things can be DM'd directly to me on Instagram if you want, or you don't need to be asked. So. Okay, we're done. Goodbye. Let's see. Yeah. If you're not a fan of Lego, there's no need for you to be hanging out in our chat. So this is a Lego account. All right, let's move into bag 6. So this was bag 5. And we got a lot of really interesting pieces and builds here that, you know, or sections that are starting to build out those red and white stripes. Really, really cool. Very pretty, very well done. And we're going to continue to build down the line, I think, with this. So look at how satisfying this bag is. It's like pure red and white. So this is going to be really nice. Okay, so this is actually having us go straight down the line. So I'm going to try and do this so that you can see what I'm building on each line as I go, which means I'm going to have to twist a little bit of how I'm building so that hopefully you can see. But we'll start that and see. So let's see. If I do it like that, are you able to see? Oh, yeah, you are. Cool. Great. Good stuff. Picnic pattern. Yes, very much so, right? It feels like a picnic blanket or a picnic basket, or yeah, I guess picnic blanket, right? So yes, the red, and then we'll move on to the white. What's interesting to me too is the piece that we just got up here. This is one solid piece, right? And this piece would be very useful every time we have to put two of these together. So I don't really know why they chose to only use that on these intersections. I'm guessing that it costs a little bit more to print this piece, but who knows? So, um, all right. So we've got the white and the red and the white again. Moving on to red again. More like a picnic basket. Yes. Um, is that the way that it's originally spelled or something? Yeah, I'm not super familiar. Okay, so then we'll just keep working our way around and making these striped lines. So that looks pretty cool and pretty interesting. I think I'm going to switch back to doing it this way and then I'll rotate it as it goes, just because it's a little bit easier for me to sit that way. So um, sorry in advance. Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. You don't, it's rare that you see a bag step be just 2 pages long, but look at that. So there's this, right? So here's page one, and here's page two. And that's all it is for bag six. But it's because the volume of parts that you need for these lines is quite a bit. So, all right, I'm going to actually hold this in my hand. So, and I think I might work my way. I'm doing two at a time because I can kind of see the two at the same time pretty easily. So, yeah. It is interesting to me, though, how they added those extra lines kind of in between the two, because there is a little bit of overlap with them where, I don't know, the lines on each section are going to be a little bit longer for the white on the rows where it was white and a little bit longer for the red on the rows where it was red. Um, but that's fine. I'm sure it was next to impossible to design and figure out this pattern and the way to make it work really well. I love that they accomplished that, and I love that we're learning how to do that on our own. So, or through here. All right. So, as this comes together, it looks so complete and finished in such a beautiful way. This is really cool. All right, so now we have 3 sections down. It looks really sleek. This is nice. And then 3 more to go. Doesn't look as sleek. It's just a little bit chaotic the way I'm putting these on, but it's like however I pick up the part, then I figure out where does it go in that orientation in my hand, and just go with it. So, oh well. I was talking to my younger brother last week, I think it was, and found out that it sounds like they're going to be moving to North Carolina. So now both of my older siblings, or both my older brother and my younger brother, are going to be living in North Carolina, which is nice because we can visit both at the same time potentially. But it is sad to me that we don't have any family living in Colorado anymore. That is my home state, and um, I mean, it's been a while now. It's been about a year since anybody's lived there for my family. So maybe not quite a year yet, but it's been about a year since we last visited with family there. So that's a sad change that's happening. You know, I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to go out to North Carolina though and see both families. Um, Shortly after that, my younger brother was able to move out there. Um, my nieces and nephews seem to be enjoying North Carolina so far, so that's good. It's a beautiful area. There's a lot to do there, so that's nice. And it's interesting, I'm sure, to experience mountains in a different part of the United States. So, all right. Done with bag 6. That was actually a really fun bag and very satisfying. It created a nice rounded patterned section. So let's dive into bag 7. Ooh, and we're going to be moving on to, is this the top portion or are we starting to do, yeah, the next piece is like the top portion. So I really love the top kind of control panel area where they operate the rocket from. It's really well done. So, all right, let's see. Oh, give me just a second. I'm going to check on here for something. All right. So, for starters, we have this yellow steering wheel type piece. I used to always call this a steering wheel piece, but now I feel like I see it more often in botanical sets. Like that seems to be the most common use case for them. All right. Oh, fun. These pieces that have the stud on the one side and then the clip on the other, we're now getting in blue. That'll be a useful piece to have. Yeah, I'm loving that for the core, the pieces and colors that they chose for this stick with kind of the standard old school Lego colors. I think that adds to the fun nostalgia vibes of this whole set in general. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really curious as to what age of builder this set will really appeal to. Because I think the build is beautiful. It's just expensive, and it's also something where the IP is maybe geared more towards an older, almost said student. I'm so used to working in college campuses, even though it's been a long time. Anyway, the builds seem to be focused a little bit on an older population. So yeah, I don't know. All right. And we're getting this piece that has the 2 ball joints on either side. We're getting a handful of those. And by a handful, I mean 2. We're getting 2 of those, at least in this bag. We'll see. There's more. All right. So with this first one, it's going to connect side by side with this one that has the cup. So you got the cup and the ball joint. And then we're going to do that again with the cup facing this way to create 3 that are connected together. This is helping create the rounded part of the top of the shape. So let's keep on keeping on with that. All right, so we have those 3. We're going to connect them on here, and let me just make sure that I have the right placing with this. It looks like this one's going to go here. Yeah, so it alternates with the colors like we had before. And you can see it's helping bring that cone shape in. You can see it's like ever so slightly angled from the bottom portion. So that is a nice technique as well. And I'm guessing on the next bag, we're going to get more of those bowed pieces. That's going to really bring it all together too in a cool way. So It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm kind of repeating exactly what I just did. And by kinda, I mean I am. um, and that's to make the other side of the rounded piece here too. So this one, while I said, oh, there is going to be some repetition, it actually doesn't feel that repetitive. I mean, there are repetition of build techniques throughout, but it feels interesting enough and unique enough as I'm going to create whatever it is that we're working on. So um, I'm not mad about it. It feels good. So all right, now we clip this on here, here, and here. And also because of the alternating white and red plates, the instructions wouldn't have been able to say build this twice because they had to be alternating opposites. But yeah, look at that. It's like a really nice beginning of the cone shape, which is so smart, so very smart. And now we're gonna put this in the middle here too. And that's gonna also help those stay balanced to where they're connected pretty well, but also might attach the next piece. We'll see. All right, give me just a second too. I need to send one note to Philip real quick as well. Let's see. I had my phone on low battery mode because it keeps dying, which makes me sad. And so I've been trying to charge it faster, but I have some apps now that are running in the background all the time. So I need to adjust the settings a little bit, I think, for that. So, um, all right, done there. Okay. All right. So, yeah, with this set, given that the IP is known really well outside the US, I am curious on how many people within the US know enough about it that they're going to purchase it. I do think that there's enough interesting build techniques to it that it could appeal to a lot of builders, just as builders in general. But I am curious as to how many will actually follow through with building or with purchasing it. Um, so we'll see. It'll be nice to know once we get there, or once it gets on store shelves. So I I'm enjoying building it, which is fun. And like I said, I love that things like this introduce me to new to me IPs. So I think we'll probably learn a little bit more about the story. Um, so yeah, this will be good. This will be a lot of fun. Or this has been a lot of fun. If it's not clear, I'm still a little sleepy from the last couple of days at South by, so I think I'm a little out of it. But yeah. Have to go. Thanks. We'll really enjoy this. Yeah, I can't wait to get your own. I'm excited for that too. Hope you and Philip will have a fun day on the birthday celebration. Thank you so much, Stefan, and thanks for joining for a little bit and educating us on all things Tintin, answering all the questions. Hope you have a wonderful evening, wonderful weekend ahead too, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon. I'm making more progress on this than I thought I would during this amount of time, but it is 4:15, so I'm trying to evaluate how much longer we'll go today. let's see. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 4 bags after this. So I think I might, I don't know. I want to look ahead at the instructions and see what's coming before I make a decision. So yeah, let me do that first. So all right. So we're building some of these guys that are going to go in between these little slats that we just worked on. Um, right. Oops. I also last week I had worked on Mario and had so much fun with that, but I only got through the cart, and so now I have another thing in the still to be finished backlog. And y'all, I just need to like dedicate time to finishing all the things. I haven't ever been in a situation like this with this many Lego sets that are unfinished. So that's not normally my jam. But yeah, so I've got some work to do to catch myself up on all of that. But yeah, I need to dive back in soon. Okay, so these clips, the blue ones that are where there's the clip on the stud, they're going to go inside here and clip onto that yellow steering wheel piece that we had from before. And that is going to make it so that they align in between where it's in between the lines all the way around. So, or in between the white and red sections that we had before. So I think we're probably in the next bag going to add on more of those curved pieces on top. Oops, there we go. Come on, connect. Oh no. Oh, gotta be careful with these. Anyway, I think the next bag I'm assuming will have some of the curved pieces to go over the 2x4 plates. What's wrong here? Why is that not clipping? Oh, it's because it's directly on the, you know how those steering wheels have like those 2 lines on it? I don't know how to describe it, and now it's embedded in the build so far that it's hard to to take apart and show you, but it just makes it to where you have to clip them on it in a specific way. All right, so that did this piece with a cone, creating a nice cone shape. In the next bag, we are getting both of our new friends, the 2 guys that get mistaken as brothers. And they both have mustaches, which is interesting because I think someone said you can differentiate them by their mustache. And then we're going up with the cone. Okay, cool. I'm going to finish bag 8 to get the rest of the minifigures and to get the cone part. And then we'll reassess if I want to continue after not. So after that point. So let's get through bag 8. It's a small bag. It's this one. So, all right, 2 minifigs, and they're not twins, but they get confused as brothers, which is fun. They're all of our friends here are wearing the same back pack, and so yeah, so there's that with them that I'll be building as well. They have. Oh, fun. One has one face print, or yeah, they have identical face prints, actually, which is really funny to know that they get confused as brothers, but they're not. From what I think it was Stefan had said, or either Stefan or our other friend from Belgium had said that, I think. But anyway, it's interesting because Lego chose to make it to where it's the same face print for both. And I'm going to twist the one face print facing forward and then the other one facing forward so that you can see. We're also getting lime green hair that is the Joker's hair. So we've already gotten this one before, I'm pretty sure, in lime green, but a perfect second use for it too. So let me, actually, before I attach the rest of it, I'm going to show you their face prints because it's cute and easier to see without the bubble on top. So yeah, one is like laughing face, the other one is a little bit more serious. And I'm gonna have them twisted that way so that they look a little bit different from each other. So Thompson and Thompson. Wonder why the cartoon chose to have them with lime green hair. Wonder what that's all about. Like, did these characters just have green hair and it was never explained? You know, um, that's just fun. All right, let's build 2 little packs for them to wear, and then we will finish out this cone. And then I think bags 9, 10, and 11 are building the legs of the ship. So, yeah. All right. Oops. Lots of these antennas in light bluish gray, and it currently looks like I get at least 2 extras, um, but I don't know if that'll be the case. We'll wait and see at the end. There might be another one that's like in the build coming up in a second to where it would make sense that we would only get 1 extra. That's the norm here. And then they both are holding a little stick too. So we'll give them both a pack and a stick. And the sticks are in this like, looks like medium nougat color. All right. So this rounds out the minifigures for our set. We've got the 2 friends that get mistaken as brothers that aren't twins. And here's the whole crew. Yay, our 2 new friends there, and with Tintin over here. And then his pup. Looks good. I like it. And it's fun to see on the back with all their little packs, jet packs showing. Okay, we are done with our minifigs. Let's move into finishing details up here. So we'll start with, again, these pieces that are the solid ones. And we're going to alternate around, just like you'd expect. And the nice thing is the way they built this, the red goes on top of red, the white goes on top of white. So it's very easy to see. However, I am putting them too high up, so let me readjust those. You want them low enough that it covers up the hinge below. So now that I'm fixing those, it looks much better. I mean, this is just expert level, like really, really well done. And it doesn't sound that complicated. It doesn't seem that complicated, but I challenge anyone to come up with a mock like this, where they're able to accomplish both the shape of the rocket and then also the alternating colors. It is much, much more challenging than you'd expect. And I am highly impressed with the designer here for that. All right, and then you finished off with the top row. Okay, super satisfying. Loving this so much. And once again, I'm kind of just like, however I pick up the piece, I find a section that needs it in that orientation and I put it on, and then eventually I have to flip the pieces in my hand. But feels a little chaotic potentially, but it's working. It works. Wow, y'all, I can't quite express to you how cool this is. It's really, really interesting. Like just take a look at the really thin, like triangle shaped sliver there. It's so satisfying. And it's just ever so slightly curved in. Ever so slightly. It's hard to see from above and even from the side. From the side, you kind of can see, right? Just ever so slightly. That's really nice. Okay, that was bag 8. It looks like bag 9 is going to build out the 3 legs. Weird. Actually, let me check on this. Oh, okay. No, bag 9 and 10 builds out the 3 legs, which are really interesting. And then bag 11 is the very top part, looks like. Actually, bag 11 is the top part, but it's also the very bottom of the legs too. So it is 4:25. I am going to take a break. I think I need to stop because I've got some gift wrapping to do before I spend time with Philip tonight. And yeah, I just want to take a break. I'm tired. Thank you all for joining. It was good to chat with y'all and share a little bit more about this. Again, this build comes available on April 1st. Very, very sleek design so far. I'm guessing these yellow pieces that we have here, these yellow axles, will be the pieces that attach the 3 legs at the really clever and clear angle. So excited to see if that's true. We'll have to wait and see once I get around to finishing out this build. And you know what? Maybe I'll actually get around to finishing out all of these builds. Maybe that'll be my goal for next week, is wrap up the ones that I haven't done all the way through. And specifically Monet, that one I need to wrap up and have done first. So thanks again for joining, and thanks for the chat and for being great in the chat and responding to each other as well. That was really kind and appreciated. And yeah, grateful for y'all. Build kindness.